My name is Jesse James, and I am an outlaw seeking refuge. That's why my ghost came to these shores well before, seeking stories that would help me find my forever and never look back. You listen to me, and you listen to me well. This country is a messed up place, but it's also a beautiful place in many ways. Its foundation, as a takeover of space, is an inexcusable disgrace. But there are so many stories we need to tell, and truths we need to face. At a recent point in time, one could find at least one of mankind from every single country of the world wide currently living and able to reside in the city that never sleeps, the big apple of my eye. Over on the left coast, a bereft host of the the theft that matters most, California, actively burning, is still home to the tallest, the oldest, and the biggest trees left in the entire world. These divided states of hysteria, home to the Golden Gate Bridge and the Space Needle, the Statue of Liberty and the St. Louis Arch, home to the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk and the nationwide Women's March, home to the Grand Canyon, the Redwoods, the Bayou, and the Great Plains, a birthplace of history's greatest athletes and a dwelling place of some of its greatest brains, and most of its deepest pains. Home to a diversity of language, customs, religions, apparel, geography, and skin tones unparalleled in the world. Home to some of the most far-fetched aspirations from its little boys and its little girls. Home to the first to walk on the moon, and the first to drop the bomb. Home to the Las Vegas Strip, Disney Pixar cartoons, and the team that hunted Osama. Home of the brave, land of the free. Home of those descended from slaves still trying to join the we in the we the people, seemingly reserved for a select few. Still up in the annual budget for that military sworn to protect you. Home to Purple Mountain's majesty across our skies, which I've seen in the land of enchantment with my own two eyes. Home to Boys Will Be Boys' last-ditch efforts in the old college tries. Home to the World Series, Mammoth Caves, and the Super Bowl. Home to EDM raves, Can You Hear Me Now, and the ever-rising gun death toll. We are a nation of extremes, superlatives, big dreams, and well-documented conquests. A nation with shame in its eyes, but somehow courage in its breast. A country always in the developing stage. A country still free to express our rage. Still free enough to put down doubt and disdain to page. A country whose prominence will decrease and perhaps cease with the coming age. A country continuing to lock its brown in cages, with a broken moral compass unable to gauge which direction it's headed or how soon it will have met itself in the mirror or even care. A country, when it lays its head down to bed to let it rest, it can forget how it was able to get there. A country with women's rights and states' rights, civil rights and somber nights, gun rights and victims' rights. A nation of a few who have a lots and many, many, many not quites. A country which used to call itself under God. Now it's just under investigation. Trying to manage this well-contested land plot, still going through the birth of a nation. The stars and the stripes. All-night bars and online gripes, leaking oil pipes, and this next generation poised and ripe to make a difference before it's their turn to call it a night. We have blood on our hands and stains on our teeth, gunshot residue on the souls carried beneath. We can dip our toes quickly in the mighty Mississippi or act like faded hippies at Coachella doing a candy flip. We use opiates to get a grip, and then turn to burn and rip the swoosh, calling Colin Kapp a dipstick douche for having slapped the nation in the face by peacefully protesting the issue of race in relation to violence, which, oddly enough, proves his point, which his detractors won't admit, though they're anything but silent. So we are disjointed, throwing fits in the form of venomous spit, online vomit, threatened face-to-face hits, get-backs, and more gets. A land where Jason Momoa is Aquaman, and he saves his nation with tridents. The last time that I checked, there is no White House within the confines of Atlantis, not that it would seek its sustainable flow or its guidance. This country exports stories, imports dreams, and makes arms along the way. We've redefined patriot, grown our own terrorism, and we've flipped the definition of great. We've allowed young children to die in our schools while pouring oil and bitcoins into our drinking cups. We celebrate our independence by overeating, acting like fools, overdrinking, and blowing things up. We show we're thankful by celebrating genocide, with the ever-expanding self-help sections dictating that we face our fears. Some of those publishing and printing books haven't eradicated white pride, weren't wishing to, aren't hinting looks, but they have managed to erase the trail of tears. We are everything and nothing. Promises kept and unkept, rest met and unslept, and perhaps the vision from the future which crept up and leapt into the head of Jesus before he wept. We are dreams attained and shattered. We are an empire in dire need, trying to burn with fire where we bleed, and New York City is Rome. We are all black and blue from our history of pain broadcast across these lives which matter. And at the end of the day, we are all just trying to find our way home.